I think that Trump could be the Hillary Clinton of 2024.
Yeah.
That they're just more than half the country it's not even politics. They just don't want him back. Yeah. They don't want a continuation of everything he is.
And there's fatigue.
Exactly.
He needs so much attention.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's the guy who won't leave the party.
I just think at the end of the day, here's the thing. There's a lot of so there's certainly there are women who are probably not saying that they're gonna vote for Trump. Like for where I'm from up in River Falls, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He was out. He's a business guy in St. Croix in Pierce County, and he was out with some other guys, and you know the Trump guys were really aggressive as they were out drinking beers, and he finally said, you know, they just assumed everybody was voting for Trump. He finally said, I'm not voting for Trump. You know, I voted for Biden last time. The only Democrat I've ever voted for. I'm not voting for Trump this time either. And they jumped all over him, and he was just sort of like, you know, F off. But two other business people who were there came up to him afterwards and were like, I'm so glad you said that. I've just been feeling like the same way you do, but I didn't know that there were other people like us who do. And this is what it gets to. Like Reed and I both have daughters. We've been talking about this for a long time. There's this group called Dobbs Dads who are conservatives. They're Republicans. They're people like me. A lot of them are pro-life. I consider myself pro-life. But this is the thing. I became a conservative because I didn't want, because the Democrats raised the drinking age in the state of Wisconsin. If you want to know the truth. But
now it all comes out.
That is. Oh, there you go.
That is true.
Talk
that
about
is
cutting to the chase.
Right, and I didn't get grandfathered in, and it made me mad.
You're bitter, aren't you?
I still no,
like an IPA.
I'm not. But here's the thing. This is the bottom line. Like I don't want government telling me what kind of shotgun I can own.
Right.
But I'll be damned if I want some wannabe like Scott Walker, who tweets Bible verses at me all the time, tell my daughters, Ula and Kaya, what they can and can't do. And Scott and I came up in conservative politics at the same time, and he would say, oh, you're a rhino or whatever. But the bottom line is this, is we became conservatives because we didn't want government telling me what to do. That was what I always believed it was about. Scott Walker actually just wanted to be somebody and tell other people what to do. And you should not have those kinds of people telling our daughters, and there's a lot of people that kind of get that.
Riddle me this. For the longest time, Republicans wanted government out of your life, and they wanted people to be bootstrap Americans.
They wanted to be somebody. This is the thing. I've known Scott Walker since Badger Boys.
No, I'm talking before Scott.
Yeah. Well, even before. Well, no. Tommy Thompson used to always say when I worked for Tommy, two kinds of politicians: those who want to be and those who want to do. You want to stay away from the former. You want to elect the latter. Look at the contrast. I mean, anybody who looks at the contrast between the way Tommy Thompson governed and the way Scott Walker governed gets to where the Republican Party evolved to. You could disagree with Tommy, but Tommy was going to go to Polly Wims and say, what can we do to fix schools? What can we do to... Scott Walker was like, what can I do to help me get elected president? Because I've been wanting to be that my entire life.
But John Rhodes, finish that point because I think it's important.
Well, I don't understand why the Trump supporters are whining about the price of eggs and everything. It's like, well, then work harder, get better training. The government's, if you're waiting for the government to make you happy, you're going to die of a broken heart. Okay? And in the old days, that's what the Republicans would say to Democrats who say, oh, I want more benefits or whatever. No, go out there and make something yourself. This is a great country. It's the land of opportunity. Now they're all whining about they want to sell off our democracy because they're paying 50 cents too much for eggs in their opinion, right? It's appalling.
Well, I mean, I think what you're saying, first of all, there's no coherent there's no coherent policy, right? So it's just, the idea is you're paying more because of them. Right, so it's just it's anger is its base, but I think also
anger and racism,
grievance.
because this is, you know, I was having a conversation with somebody and they said, oh, you know, it's the party of Reagan. I said, it's not the party of Reagan. It's not the party of Eisenhower. Certainly not the party of Lincoln. Like, this is the Republican Party now. 90% of Republican voters are going to pull the lever for Donald Trump or for some Republican candidate. This is what the GOP has become. 50 years downstream of all of the movement conservative work, evangelicals, everybody else, 50 years downstream of Rush Limbaugh and Fox News providing the constant stream of vitriol, anti-government vitriol, and Donald Trump now almost 10 years on the scene, right? Like, this is what we see. You know, you talked about the aggressive nature. I mean, we got chased around in Bucks County, Pennsylvania by a guy who said, if you ever come back, I'll get my shotgun, right? Like, we are at the apex of all of this stuff coming together in the next 7 days.